a plethora of priorities. Now, is that even possible? I was challenged this morning on my start the day, we call it Roar Canada Core daily dance. It's the morning dance call. So we get into action, we get into groove, and it's my priority from 6:45 till 7 a.m., 6:45 a.m. to 7 a.m. And as we were chatting, we got talking about the word plethora. And I realized that often in life, I have chosen to have a plethora of priorities. And yet that's a bit of a oxymoron. It's a bit of a joke. It's a bit of a fallacy. It's a bit of a myth. Because in fact, the word priority, when it came into the English language in about the 1400s, was the word priority, singular. I can only have one priority right now, and that is talking to you. If I have any additional priorities, it's like not possible. It's like I couldn't even do it if I wanted to. If I was attempting to, say, type on my keyboard at the same time as I'm talking to you, I wouldn't be focused on my one priority. I would be attempting to multitask, and that's a conversation for another day, because that's a myth as well, as it turns out. So till about 1400s, the word priority didn't exist in the English language, and then it came into the English language and the word priority. It wasn't, there's a little bit of ambiguity as to whether it actually existed also for a short time in the 1700s as a plural form. But apparently it looks like around the 1940s it became a plural word, priorities. And you can't. So on the call this morning, we got talking around vision boards and focus and intention and having a plethora of ideas and a plethora of things on the vision board, and therefore none of them getting done because we can only have one priority at any one time. So in the course of a day, if I'm thinking about 3 priorities, I've got to put them in a prioritized order, and yet in any one moment I can only have truly one. So what's the one priority for your day? My morning priority was to have a conversation, one in which I knew I was going to have to apologize for something that I had said a couple of years ago that was still not sitting well with the person, and if I'd known earlier, I would have gone and corrected it sooner, or at least had the conversation and done my part, and yet I didn't know. Once I learned of it, I made it a priority to have that conversation. And then I could move on to the next priority of the day. And the next priority of the day was talk to a lovely lady about selling her home and buying a home. So that was kind of a nice priority to have. And when that priority was done, it was time to have some conversations one at a time, stay focused in the moment, and have one person as the priority at a time around a gift that we give those that we love and that love us and that want to have Canada's Idea and Improvement magazine in their house. So I had the priority of having a call around that. And so for you in your life, what's your priority in this moment, right now? Because we know that if we have a plethora of priorities, we're not going to get much of anything done. In fact, if we have 1 to 3 goals or focuses, we might generalize that and say they'd be a priority over given a period of time. Guess what? We're actually going to probably accomplish that 1, 2, or 3 goals, provided we have each one as a priority for a given period of time. If we have 4 to 7, guess how many we're going to accomplish? We'll be fortunate if we accomplish 1. And if we have 8 to 20 or in excess of that in terms of goals, we will accomplish 0. 0. So having one priority is the way to get anything and everything done, and then you leave that one and move to the next one. It is a practice that I've been practicing with some competency for quite a period of time, and yet I get delusional from time to time and think that I can have more than one priority. What am I thinking? So if you're like me, you've gotten off track once or twice, so I'm going to challenge you today, right now in fact. What is your priority for the next hour? What's the one priority that you're going to focus on? The next one, just like one. My next one, after I'm finished having this is my priority connecting with you, is actually the priority of calling a particular client that I need to have a conversation about the value of her home. So that's my priority. What is your priority? Comment below, comment, tell me, because then we can help each other actually get on track and throw out the idea that a plethora of priorities is actually even an option. So what's your one priority right now for the next 1 hour?